And just like Tim right now, I'm going to slow down time and be right back. And we're back. Was that a horrible time travel transition?
Yeah.
Alex is just kind of giving me the crusty over here. Okay, so here's how this one gets interesting, because as you can see, the Goombas are trying to make their way through, and they're immune to time. But the plants aren't. So here's the thing. We actually have to rig the plants. That did not work out in my favor. Come on, buddy. Okay, so now that I have my order... Ah! Alright, so this is proving to be way more irritating than I thought it would. So I will have to magic cut this because I'm going to have to do it on my own time. And we will be back with even more Braid. We'll probably just do the remaining part because, you know, you think World 6 is frustrating. Wait until we do World 1. We'll probably do World 1, though, live. So we'll see you guys next time.
Salon.
As Tim looks out into the abyss, he realizes all the hardships that he has had to go through. And the fact that Drak numerous times wanted to send him to the card graveyard because of the stupidity of some of the pizzles and puzzles. Welcome back, everybody, to Braid. I have no idea what happened there. Do you, Alex?
I don't know what the hell you're going on about.
All right, so just to double show this, all of the puzzle pieces for World 6 have been gotten. They took quite a bit of time, so sorry we didn't get that on camera, but there actually wasn't too much left, and the puzzles were kind of complex. So if people get mad at us, I am sorry, but that's just the way it goes. But now we must assemble the puzzle. And not the Millennium Puzzle. Should I clarify that right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is not the Millennium Puzzle. Will this work? No. So Alex, have you been excited to see the end of Braid? Because technically this almost qualifies as. We are going into the final bit of Braid.
I'm excited. I want to see how this ends.
There we go. So now we have 2.
Am I going to save our wonderful princess or die trying? I don't know.
But you're going to find out.
Yes, I'm going to find out.
All right. Is this it? No. Where is it? Oh, there we go. This one. No, this is not it. Is this it? No. We'll find it. Well, it's here. We'll find it. So, I'm actually just gonna have you take a guess as to what you think this is.
I don't know, but I see a pair of lips.
Yes, you do. You see a lot of things.
I see a lot of things.
Well, I'm not lying about that. You see a lot of things in this image. No, that's not gonna work. That's not going to work, I don't think. There we go. So this could technically be the top row, I'm guessing. Nope. Wall. Nope. We'll figure this out. It just takes a minute. There we go. Well, now we got a face, which I can immediately assume that this goes right here to finish the face. Said face. And this probably goes here. And this probably goes here. So, it's a guy who looks bored. I'm I'm sorry you look bored, guy. This reminds me of an old MTV show. Hey, guy! Let's see. No, that's not it, but this might be. And there you go. So, it looks like it could be Tim looking at the Ring of Power. Right after he told Elrond to go F himself, and he decided to keep it for himself.
Pretty much.
Alright, so now we have all of the assembled pictures. But what does that do? What that does is it actually unlocks World 1, which is this door. So, Alex, why don't you go ahead and take the first one?
At a cafe on a bright plaza, most customers sit back feeling the warmth of the sun, enjoying their cold drinks. But not Tim. He barely notices the sun, doesn't really taste his coffee. For him, this corner affords a good view of the city, and in the teeterings of the passerbys, in the arc of the shops of a shop girl's hand as she displays tea to an interested gentleman, Tim hopes to see clues.
That night at the cinema, fictitious adventures lunge implausibly across the screen. The audience here is mixed. Some are patrons of the cafe, now sitting excitedly in the plush chairs, eager for another new flavor, for a distraction from the boredom of their easy lives. Other seats hold fishermen and farm workers, hoping to forget their toils and rest their hands.
Tim is here too, but he's scrutinizing the gloss on the lips, the screen measuring the angle plumb of a distant helicopter crash. He thinks he discerns a message when the cinema closes and the north audience strolls down the plaza to the south. Tim goes north.
That rebel! People like Tim seem to live oppositely from the other residents of the city. Tide and riptide flowing against each other.
Tim wants, like nothing else, to find the princess, to know her at last. For Tim, this would be momentous, sparking an interest light that embraces the world. A light that reveals the secrets long kept from us, that illuminates or materializes. A final place where we can exist in peace.
But how is this be perceived by the other residents of the city, in the world that flows contrary-wise? The light would be intense and warm at the beginning, but then flicker down to nothing, taking the castle with it. It would be like burning down the place we'd always called home, where we played so innocently as children, destroying all hope of safety forever. Wow, Tim kind of sounds like a dark dude. Alright, so actually, if you notice, these doors are all blocked off. Kind of like how they were in the original worlds, but backwards. So, that's kind of the theme of this world. It is backwards. Time goes in reverse.
That's awesome.
Oh, but wait, because that means certain puzzles are going to be very difficult to solve.
Of course.
Because you have to literally think backwards in your head.
God damn, this game can get complicated.
Alright, so that's puzzle number 1. Thankfully, we don't have puzzle pieces to go get. But this is where we start to see a bit of a problem. Okay, so we've got a little bit of an issue here. But now we see how to fix it. Okay, so now we have this. What would that do? He jumped on me. Well, that was ironic. So that's what happens, is technically it treats it as if he came from this cannon all along.
Wow.
Okay, so here's third world. This is where it gets even more complicated because now we don't even have the ladder. Now we are going to have to solely rely on the jumps to get us where we need to go. Ah! That's not what I wanted.
That was pretty cool, that music effect.
There we go. And Braid. So this is the final world, and oh my gosh, it looks kind of complicated, doesn't it? Oh, look at that! We actually have more characters now!
I've got you.
No, we need more evil voice.
Ooh.
Help! Okay, so how do we get to him?
Come down here.
Oh, look at that. And that's how we go forward. So, we must save the princess, right?
Of course.
That's what we do. Oh, cool. She's going to help us out. That's great. But if you'd notice, the left side of the screen...
Yay, auto scroll.
It's on fire!
This screen is on fire.
Oh, no. This is not going to work.
Gotta go back more.
Oh, come on. Hurry.
Little princess.
Oh!
Ah!
So, when this happens, you actually need to redo the level because...
She's not fast enough to save him.
Well, I'm not going fast enough. That's the thing. So, this should give me enough time, hopefully.
Hopefully. Ah!
Ah! Oh, no! Ah!
What?
Okay, there we go. Kind of freaky, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now we have another problem where this one is going really fast. And we actually have a switch that we need to pull.
Run, little princess, run! You'll never become queen if you don't.
Are you trying to say that the continuity of Long Live the Queen and Braid are consistent?
Yes, I am, but that's just a theory, a game theory. Thanks for watching.
Ah, no! I didn't click it in time. Ah! You see the problem here?
Yes.
Ah! Okay.
You stupid pine cones.
Let's buy ourselves a little bit of time here.
Ah. Ah! The princess! The princess! She died in a fire.
Problem is that stupid Goomba is in my way. Ah! No!
I think you're gonna need to rewind more.
Yeah, I might have to.
That cost you.
This might take a couple of attempts, guys. I'm just gonna warn you in advance. Alright, well, we're gonna have to do this, because things are still not going fast enough. There we go. I still have the same issue. And then the princess died. So.
Oh, dear princess. Do we know the princess's name?
We do not. She is just known as the princess.
The princess.
Okay, is there a way that I can actually make this a little bit faster?
Alright, looks like you're doing alright.
Part that worries me, though. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Princess, help me! Oh,
Look,
stairs!
a mailbox.
And it's now burned.
Well, now how are they ever gonna get their mail?
Move!
Come on, piranha plants.
Oh, please don't tell me she has to pull a switch. Oh my gosh!
That's so cute. Mona Lisa.
Oh, and here we are. We can finally get to the princess! So we shall.
Princess!
Wait, what? What just happened?
Do the moonwalk. Ow!
So, what's going on here? I'm going backwards. I literally am going backwards. When I go forward, I'm going backwards. So what happens if I go back down? Nothing. Okay, so there's something I need to be doing here.
You can't go back more?
Nope, I actually have to start up an event, and I'm trying to remember how I do it.
Wake up! Come on, wake up. I'm here to save your royal ass.
You'd think she was Zelda or something. Okay, so that's what happens if I do that. What does this mean?
What does this all mean? Time gods, bestow your wisdom!
Oh, wait. What's this?
Interesting.
What's going on?
Now time is going forward.
Wait! So if you change the time, the whole picture becomes very different, doesn't it?
Yes.
It almost appears as if the princess is running away from Tim. Oh, nope.
Well, that's kind of
Can't
sad.
go there. So what happens here is flip the switch. Oh, and now she's screwed, but she still can run.
You can run, but you cannot hide.
Apparently so. So we've been kind of getting that subtle hinting in the books that Tim is kind of a jerk. And if people remember in the introduction to World 2, it says Tim has done a horrible mistake and he needs to save the princess. Could this be the mistake that he made? Is that he tried to chase after her? Okay, so we're going to keep going here. But then how does the night play into it?
That's a good question.
We're going to find out because we're actually getting really close to where he was. Oh, look at that. Help! Okay, play him valiantly now.
Come down here.
Help!
Ooh. I've got you.
and they go away.
Wow. That's deep.
So basically, this event can be taken one of two ways. Either he was trying to save the princess, or the princess was actually trying to run from him. So, let's go ahead and go through this door now that it's available. Epilogue! Alright, Alex, go ahead and take this one. Oh, wait, never mind. I guess we gotta open these up first. Okay.
The boy called for the girl to follow him, and he took her hand. He would protect her. They would make their way through this oppressive castle, fighting off creatures made of smoke and doubt, escaping into a life of freedom. The boy wanted to protect the girl. He held her hand or put his arm around her shoulders in a walking embrace to help her feel supported and close to him, amid the impressionable throngs of Manhattan. They turned and made their way toward the Canal Street subway station, and he picked up a path through the jostling crowd.
Alright, so what happens here? Obviously, the only book that can be read here is the red one, but let's go on. Oh, look at this. Oh, that was interesting. Okay, so now we have another red book.
Water-starved monkeys.
Actually, he worked his ruler and his compass. He inferred, he deduced. He scrutinized the fall of an apple, the twisting of metal orbs hanging from a thread. He was searching for the princess, and he would not stop until he found her, for he was hungry. He cut rats into pieces to examine their brains, and planted tungsten posts into the skulls of water-starved monkeys.
Alright, this guy's kind of creepy.
Yeah, kind of. Alright, so we go here, and what's here?
He scrutinized the fall of an apple, the twisting of metal orbs. Oh, I read that.
No, it's still going.
Okay.
This is a completely different part,
Okay,
so don't worry about that.
He scrutinized the fall of an apple, the twisting of metal orbs hanging from a thread. Through these clues, he would find the princess, see her face. After a specially fervent night of tinkering, he kneeled behind a bunker in the desert. He held the piece of welder's glass up to his eye and waited. On that moment, hung eternity. Time stood still. Space contracted to a pinpoint. It was though the earth had opened, the skies had split. One felt as though he'd been privileged to witness the birth of the world. Somewhere near him it said,
"It worked!"
Someone else said,
"Now we're all sons of bitches." So that's an interesting way to put that. Oh, but wait, we have another book here. So, the candy store. Everything he wanted was on the opposite side of that pane of glass. The store was decorated in bright colors, and the scents wafting out drove him crazy. He tried to rush to the door, or just get closer to the glass, but he couldn't. She held him back with great strength. Why would she hold him back? How might he break her free of her grasp? He considered violence. Alright, so what happens if we do this? Why, that's what happens. Can't remember. Oh, I can't remember exactly what's here, but I believe there's a part in this boulder or something like that. Let me see. Actually, I just figured it out. So, boom. I'm immune. There we go. I'll go ahead and take this one. So, they had been here before on their daily walks. She didn't mind his screams and his shrieks, or the way he yanked painfully on her braid to make her stop. He was too little to know better. She picked him up and hugged him. "No, baby," she said. He was shaking. She followed his gaze towards the treats sitting on pillows behind the glass, the chocolate bar and the magnetic monopole, the it from bit and the ethical calculus, and so many other things deeper inside. Maybe when you're older, baby, she whispered, setting him back on his feet and leading him home. Maybe when you're older. Every day thereafter, as before, she always walked him on a route that passed in front of the candy store. Okay, so that's weird. It's kind of talking as if the or as if the princess is his mother. Or at least a mother-like figure. Oh, go ahead and take this one.
He could not stay. He understood all of this. Possibly he's more confused now than ever. But all these moments he's contemplated, something has occurred. The moments feel substantial in his mind, like stones. Kneeling, reaching down towards the closest one. Running his hand across it, he finds smooth and slightly cold.
Interesting. Alright, so go ahead and take this one too.
He tests the stone's weight. He finds he can lift it, and others too. He can fit them together to create a foundation on an embankment, a castle.
Alright. To build a castle of appropriate size, he will need a great many stones, but what he's got now feels like an acceptable start. And it just so happens that if you go up here, I believe there's another one. Whee! Nope. Alright, well that's kind of unusual. And this basically just loops you back into World 2. So, a lot of people have gotten confused, and there's been tons of discussion on what this last little bit actually tries to entail. Now, a lot of people have theorized since a quote was used. You notice that it said, "Now we're all sons of bitches," right?
Yeah.
That's actually a quote from one of the scientists of the Trinity bomb,
right.
I believe. So it's one of those things where a lot of people have actually taken this as a statement on the atomic bomb.
Okay, so metaphor for nuclear weapons.
For nuclear weapons.
Interesting.
Jonathan Blow, I don't believe, has said either way on the matter. If it is or it isn't, but this is what he did. I actually like to take this under the assumption that he basically wanted to make a story where you played as Bowser instead of Mario. And that's where this game is interesting to me. I don't want to put all the real life stuff in there because I can't confirm that it's legit. But the fact that you basically, if you look at Tim's perspective, especially in that last level, you could almost make the argument that Tim is Bowser. He is the villain of this story, and you just played as him.
Right.
Even though the villain can make mistakes, you know? But that's pretty much it for Braid. There is actually a secret ending, but it is really stupid hard to do, and it doesn't really illuminate too much on it. So we will not be doing that super secret ending. We'll probably link to somebody who did, but really it's just that if you collect all the stars, aside from all the puzzle pieces, there are stars in each level. If you collect all the stars, it's actually possible to get to the princess's room before she gets there.
Wow.
And so at that point you have a completely different concept of ending, but it takes you back to that exact same world. That exact same epilogue world. So that's pretty much it for Braid. If people were expecting credits, it's not really built that way. But that is the end of the game. So Alex, what did you think about Jonathan Blow's first foray into independent gaming?
It was really creative, I felt. And you can tell, admittedly, I kind of knew going into this was a subversive story, mostly thanks to Dorkly's little parody video.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can tell this is sort of a subversive take in the long-standing Mario, but it's a loving homage at the same time, and really, if I was probably more into puzzle games and that, I probably would enjoy it just a bit more, but I gotta say, it has, for what it does for me, it has a nice atmosphere, and it has some really nice concepts, and I can feel like Jonathan Blow is wanting to not say too much because he wants to keep the discussion going.
Well, and the other part is that Jonathan Blow you've seen Indie the movie. He had a really bad habit of going, like when people tried to assume what he was thinking, or try to take on their own interpretation, he would mysteriously show up and say, no, this is not what I was going for. And eventually he had to kind of work his way through that. That's why in a lot of cases I appreciate this game, but I also appreciate the upcoming game, The Witness, is because I want to see him go further. I want to see him do more than this. Obviously, this is built a lot of based around a Mario engine. I really do think that Braid could have been built in Super Mario Maker if it wanted to.
Yeah.
But this is also just an interesting take. You know, nobody's ever wanted to play as Bowser in these stories, and so Jonathan Blow looked at it and said, no, you get to play as Bowser in this one. You get to see that Bowser made some mistakes. Or at least a repentant Bowser, you know? But yeah, that's going to go ahead and do it for Braid. Wonderful job by Jonathan Blow. And one other thing that I actually like to add to what Alex was saying is one of the things that indie gaming has really, like one of the genres that they've been able to keep going has been the puzzle game.
Mm-hmm.
Because up until this point, what was the most featured puzzle game that was coming out from big developers?
I can't seriously name
it. Was Tetris.
Tetris, yeah.
Tetris still goes to this day. And that was pretty much the only things that had come out. Either that or Tetris clones.
Yeah.
You know? So this is one of those interesting concepts where you had to go in and solve the game, and you actually got kind of motivated to be a completionist to see the true ending of the game. Which I thought was kind of brilliant, because that's one of my biggest complaints about completing games. There has to be merit to it. There has to be a reason. This gave me a reason. So we did it. But that's going to go ahead and do it for Braid. We hope you guys have enjoyed this first foray into Indie Spotlight. And it just so happens that next month we're going to be taking on a more recent Indie Spotlight. Would you like to introduce it, Alex? Because you're totally excited about it.
We are going to play Freedom Planet.
From Galaxy Trail, I think is the name.
Right.
The name of the studio. I will double check and I will see if they have anything else to their names. But that's going to go ahead and do it for Braid. So we hope you guys have enjoyed, and we will see you guys next month for Freedom Planet.